Oh, we're live. Welcome in, friends. Tonight we're opening the Secret Lair Dungeons and Dragons Shadows over Baldur's Gate. This isn't going to be about finance. This isn't going to be about collectability. We're just going to open up the cards, admire the new art, and go ahead and start updating this Prosper deck. Now, all these cards I already have in Prosper, so it's not really an upgrade. It's just a cosmetic uplift. So let's start tearing into it. Oh yeah. Okie dokie. We have our thank you card. Thank you for being a part of Secret Lair Dungeons and Dragons. Dragging these nuts. Right, babe? Where are the sleeves at? Un segundo, I guess that's how you say it in Spanish. Un segundos. Grabbing some sleeves. I don't know if these come with a bonus card. I guess we'll see when we get to it. Man, it's kind of hard to focus on the text. But we have Grim Hireling. Get a little bit closer. There we go. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create 2 treasure tokens. You can pay a swamp, sacrifice X treasures, and target creature gets -X until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So for 4 mana, it's a 3/2 Tiefling Rogue. We all know what this one does. And if you don't know, well, I suggest to get yourself one. And in the DangDad household, we sleeve every single rare, especially if it's foil. Did I sleeve it upside down? I sleeved it right. We have next Wild Magic Sorcerer for 4 mana. The first spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. For 4 mana, it's a 4/3 Orc Shaman Sorcerer. The first spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. And we're gonna get to Prosper, the showcase of what all these cards go into. Basically at the beginning of your end step, you exile the top card of your library. It is revealed. So everybody's gonna know what your game plan is. And these synergize with Prosper's ability, right? Because whenever you cast a spell from exile, they will have Cascade with Wild Magic Sorcerer. Next up, we got Xorn. Oh man, that's a beautiful Prosper. I see it down there. I see Xorn down there taking up the spotlight. For 3 mana, he's a 3/2 elemental Xorn. If you would create 1 or more treasure tokens instead, create those tokens plus an additional treasure token. So if you would create 1 or more treasure tokens, you create an additional. I'm gonna flip that bonus card upside down. Ooh. It's a good thing I caught this on stream. This card is damaged. You can't really see it on camera. I can't zoom in on it, but it's damaged right here in the corner. That's no bueno. We have Prosper. All right, this is a commander that I run. Prosper Tomebound for 4 mana. He's a Tiefling Warlock, 1/4 Death Touch, and then he has, man, why does it keep auto-focusing like that? Mystic. I can't even read that. Oh, Mystic Arcanum. At the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. And then he has a Pact Boon. Whenever you play a card from exile, create a treasure token. So Xorn, we'll get back to it in a second. In just a wee bit. Xorn says if you would create 1 or more treasure tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional. So Prosper will let us create treasures as long as we play the spells from exile. Xorn lets us create extra treasures. And Grim Hireling lets us abuse those treasures by sacrificing them to give another creature -X/-X. Grim Hireling also creates treasures. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create 2 treasures. So because Prosper has Death Touch, sometimes you can get in whenever you know somebody relies on a creature. But you know, he is a little weak, being 4 toughness, excuse me. And then we have Wild Magic Sorcerer. So I'm probably not gonna put this one in Prosper. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I have some removals that I don't that you know that I wouldn't want to cast sometimes right away. But you know what? I will put Wild Magic Sorcerer in there just to see how it plays out. And we're getting to the bonus card. Ooh, I found some prisoners. For 2 mana, it's an instant. Choose 1. Break the chains. Destroy target artifact. Right? I can choose 1. I can destroy an artifact, or I can interrogate them. I can exile the top 3 cards of target opponent's library. Choose 1 of them. Until the end of my next turn, I may play that card, and I may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. For 2 mana, exile 3 cards from my opponent's library, and I can play them. Oh yeah, that one's pretty cool. I did not expect to get this card. I didn't watch anybody open this Secret Lair, so I had no idea what the bonus card would be. We did watch Dang's mom open up the other one last week or the week before, maybe. I don't remember what the name was, or what or the when in space, where were we whenever we opened it. But let's go ahead and pull out this deck and see what it's all about. Pull this deck out. Oh, whoa. Hey, what's up, JJ? Open Prosper. The one you sold me. I'll sell it back to you. So we just opened up the Secret Lair. It was Shadows over Baldur's Gate. I just need to turn the autofocus off. That's what I need to do. And I still didn't do it because I don't trust not turning it off. So it comes with the Prosper, Wild Magic Sorcerer. You found some prisoners, and Grim Hireling, and Xorn. These are all cards I already have. What the heck? This one's like, this is a weird sleeve. But I need to put him in a real sleeve. My commanders are in different sleeves than the decks than the decks that they are in. Is it? So I need to find, you know what? I don't even know if I put Xorn in this deck yet. Or Grim Hireling, because I didn't have an extra one. But let me try and get through it. Remember, don't forget to like the videos and subscribe. If you like what you see, it really does help support the channel. Chandra Spark Hunter, I'll probably take her out. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to one target vehicle you control until end of turn. It becomes an artifact. You can sacrifice an artifact, discard a card. If you do, draw a card. You get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control enters. This emblem deals 3 damage to any target. Actually, that one has saved me a couple times. It's a maybe. This artifact enters. Whenever this artifact enters, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You can play those cards. Captain Lannery Storm. Whenever Captain Lannery Storm attacks, create a treasure token. So we might need that one. Temple of the False Gods kind of sucks. Swamp, Rakdos Charm, keeping it. Valgavoth Terror Eater. Sacrifice 3 non-land permanents if a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to the mana value rather than its mana cost. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it. Flying lifelink 9/9. Ooh, Lotus Petal, that's beautiful. Atali Primal Storm. Mystic Forge, Rakdos Lord of Riots. You can't cast this spell unless an opponent lost life this turn. Flying and Trample, creature spells you cast. Nope, he's coming out. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, exile cards equal to its mana value from the top of their library. Until your next turn, you can play those cards. Stay in. Florian Voldurin Scion. 3/3 first strike. At the beginning of your second main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of life your opponents lost this turn. Exile one of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exiled card. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may exile it. You may play that card from exile this turn. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player while they're formal, when this roller coaster ride enters, it deals X damage to each of up to X target creatures. That one might come out. Rakdos Signet, Massacre Worm. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. When it enters, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. We got a Soul Ring. We got to Feed the Swarm. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure token. This ability triggers once each turn. Sacrifice a treasure and go to creature. That one might come out. Massacre Girl, stay in. That she's killing everybody. Boom Mobile. Whenever this vehicle enters, add 4 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. For 3 and X, this vehicle deals X damage to any target. Put a +1 counter on this vehicle. Staying. Lightning Greaves. Gonti, the Night Minister. Whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. And whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents. Its controller looks at the top card of that opponent's library and exiles it face down, and they may play that card. Legitness. Decree of Pain. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated, and draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Staying in. Passionate Archaeologist. Commander creatures you own have, whenever you cast a spell from exile, this creature deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to the target opponent. That one's staying in. So it does look like I don't have Xorn in here, or the other ones. Fear of Missing Out. Whenever Fear of Missing Out attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. That one can come out. Blasphemous Act. Oh yeah, we already went through those ones. Mask of Gristlebrand. Equipped creature has flying and lifelink. Whenever equipped creature dies, you may pay X life, where X is its powers, and draw X cards. Probably keeping Gristlebrand. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, Carverek the Merciless deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. Whenever an opponent casts a spell. That one's maybe coming out. This one lets me play cards from exile. Whenever a creature with a -1 counter on it dies, draw a card. And I can pay 3 to put a -1 counter on another target creature. And whenever the Scorpion God dies, return it to its owner's hand. And it's a 6/5. That one's staying. At 3 mana, exile the top 3 cards of your library. Choose one. You may play that card this turn. Foundry Inspector. Market Back Walker. This creature enters with X -1 counters on it. You can pay 4 to put a -1 counter on this creature, and whenever this creature dies, draw a card for each -1 counter on it. Sometimes we have a lot of treasures. Direfleet Ravager. Whenever he enters the battlefield, each player loses 1/3 of their life. That one's good. He lets me play from exile. Lands we don't get rid of. Razorkin Needlehead has first strike during your turn, and whenever an opponent draws a card, he deals 1 damage to them. That one can come out. He don't help with nothing. There we go. I don't know why I zoomed in like that. How do we fix it? There we go. Kefka, Dancing Mad. During your turn, Kefka has Indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard, and you may cast any number of spells. Yep, that one's staying in. Chaos Warp, staying in. Deadpool, trading card. I put it in here just because it's Rakdos. When he enters, you may exchange his text box with another target creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 3 life, so they'll get that ability. And you can pay 3 to sacrifice this creature, and each other player draws a card. We'll keep them in here. Create a treasure token, Twicey, exile top 3 cards. We're keeping it. Suspended Sentence is fun. The Lord of Pain is fun. Deflecting SWAT, non-foil, so it costs 2 extra mana to cast if it's non-foil. Lands we keep. Mana Rocks we keep. Here we go, Xorn. We're replacing you, buddy. You're going in the trash. And you're getting foiled. Yes, sir. Keep. Professional Phase Breaker. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library, and you may play that card. Chef's Kiss. Gain control of target spell that targets only a single permanent or player. Copy it, then reselect the targets at random. If the spell and the copy for the spell and the copy, the new targets can't be you or permanents you control. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even know I had that one in there. File Smasher. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, choose an opponent at random. File Smasher. The fierce deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to that player or a planeswalker that player controls. Whenever you cast your first spell, he might come out. Obnixilis the Adversary. Casualty X. The copy isn't legendary and has starting loyalty X. Its +1 is each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card and you control a demon or a devil, you gain 2 life. As the spell enters, you may sacrifice a creature with power X. When you do copy the spell, he might come out. Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. For 7 mana, whenever he enters or attacks, it does 4 damage to any target. He's a 5/5. He can stay. He lets me play from exile. Sensei's Divining Top. Magna the Horde Master. Sadistic Shell Game. That one's always fun. And Infernal Grasp and Arcane Signet. I think we went through all the cards. I did not have Grim Hireling. So let's go ahead and pull 3 cards out.
You can choose the one to take up if you want.
Yeah, I know you can. We just need to take 3 cards out. We got no 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total mana 10. We'll keep Carverek. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, he deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target, so they might, you know, be scared. Whenever you cast, oh no, we're keeping him, so we're pulling all the ones that we want to keep until we get 3 left. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage. Let's keep I don't know what to keep. We'll keep Chandra Spark Hunter. I'll get rid of Razorkin. We'll get rid of you know what? We should keep these high ones if we're gonna put Wild Magic Sorcerer in there because it's gonna let us cascade. And we'll keep him because he burns a little bit sometimes. Alrighty. And that's it. So I guess this was an upgrade. I guess we did do a little bit of upgrading. Because these 3 cards were not even in the deck. Thank you, JJ Can't Get Enough 666 Pickup Sticks for sticking around. If you find this video in the future, and if you found it entertaining, or if you just enjoy the softness of my voice, please subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And share it with a friend. You can catch me, you know, don't dox me. You can catch me in the Houston area. We have been going to local game stores and buying strangers collector packs. It makes me feel good. I like sharing. I like gifting a card. But thanks for swinging by, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.